This man was kicked out of his home by his mother-in-law. In a fit of anger, he came to the mountains and built a house by himself. Since the man had originally come to their family as an orphan to be a live-in son-in-law, he thought he had finally found a place to belong in this life. But in the end, he fell out with his mother-in-law over some conflicts. His mother-in-law was always nitpicking. Small things like saying he didn't wash the dishes, big things like saying he still hadn't gotten out of bed at 4 in the morning. What's even more outrageous is that after the man spent a whole day working in the fields and came home, his mother-in-law actually refused to cook his meals. The man then brought this up with his wife, but to his surprise, his wife said he was being unreasonable, that he was bad-mouthing her mother behind her back, and even called him an ungrateful person, completely forgetting that it was this man who had been holding up more than half the household. Whenever there was work to be done around the house, he never rested, and even took over the chores that should have belonged to his in-laws. That's exactly why the wicked mother-in-law had the energy to point fingers at him, tear him down, and curse him. Hearing his wife's words, the man's heart turned to ash. He finally understood that in their family, he was nothing but an outsider, and even his own wife couldn't be counted on. So the man fled that home and came deep into the mountains and forests. Using wooden blocks, he built a small wooden cabin that was entirely his own, warm and cozy, far away from the trivial matters of the mundane world, living a life like a hidden paradise. Only by watching until the very end do you realize what it truly means when they say the real masters are among the common people. A man with no one to rely on actually built an entire house all by himself. Now let's take a look at how this man managed to build a house completely on his own.